JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. There's a link in the description of this video. It's jjthecpahelp.com. It's a free website I set up and made a few weeks ago. It's just information only. You don't give me your contact information or email. I don't need to know who you are. And I don't even think you know how to contact me when you go to that website. But anyways, when you go to it, you'll find a link if you want to follow along. And then I'll have additional videos coming. So we're talking about the Paycheck Protection Program application program. So this is not the COVID-19 disaster relief. It is not the EIDL. See my other emails on that. You don't want to get that and this. Okay, because it reduces down this amount, and the EIDL and the COVID-19, which is the same thing, you got to pay back the PPP. You have the opportunity for it to be all forgivable. All right, so I will have another video when I have time that I'll bring everything up on the screen. But you know, it's really, I mean, it is almost this simple. Okay, there's going to be a little bit of documentation, but basically, business legal name, and that would be basically whatever you've got with the IRS. What is the business's address? If there's a DBA or a trade name, and then the EIN. And if you're a sole proprietorship and you don't have an EIN, you would then put your social security number. Put your business phone, and then the primary contact would be what name, and then email address. And then here you put in your average monthly payroll. When you look at the fine print, so to speak, it does say on page 2 near the bottom right above the signature, it says, I acknowledge that the lender will calculate the eligible loan amount using tax documents I have submitted. Hang on. I affirm that these tax documents are identical to those I submitted to the IRS. So, this is based entirely off payroll, okay? So an income tax return isn't gonna show anything as it relates to a business that has employees. Now, the reason it just says tax documents plain and doesn't say payroll tax documents is that if you're self-employed, and I'll have a link on this video near the end about a video I did about the self-employed. If you're self-employed, well, then you're gonna need to provide Form 1099s. You're gonna need that you received. You're gonna need to provide your Schedule C, and that's where sole proprietors, independent contractors, the self-employed, they're submitting different kinds of tax documents. So the only tax documents that the bank's going to need if you're basing this on payroll is your W-2s. And see my other emails, my other videos on this, because it is only going to include what is the W-2. Box 5, Medicare wages, is the most pure number for you to use. Okay, so I'm going to have another video on like pulling that payroll information. I've been working with our favorite friends and clients and confidants, Caleb, Adam, and Nancy at Alliant Payroll. I'm gonna do a video about how we just have everything lined out, but they will have numbers by tomorrow. Tomorrow is April 1st. Anyways, here's the deal. You're just putting in the number, average monthly payroll costs, okay? So you're gonna take all those costs. I got a number of videos, but basically it's your payroll, okay? Box 5, that's Medicare wages, the employer paid health insurance, and the retirement match, okay? That's gathered up, divided by 12, and then that's the number, okay? Right there, okay? That's the number that you put in there, okay? And then you do the math. This is why you went to high school and took math all those years, because you're going to take that figure times 2.5. My son's 17, so it's just kind of funny to say. So For instance, you're going to put in your average monthly, not your total, the average monthly, times 2.5. And then it comes up with the dollar amount. Now, if you're self-employed, what you're going to put in there is your calculation of how you come up with that cost, because payroll cost is defined in section 1102 of the law for if you have employees, and then also if you're self-employed. Then it's going to ask for number of jobs, okay? So that's going to be the number of employees, okay? Right now, okay? You don't overthink it, okay? Right now, okay? Well, I just let some people go last week, right now. Well, I'm thinking about letting go of some people next week, right now, okay? Then applicant ownership. So it says list owners of applicant with greater than 20% ownership stakes. Attach a separate sheet if necessary. So then right here, you're just going to fill out the names, right? So if there's one owner, it's going there. Okay. If you have someone that owns 20%, they're not on here. Okay. Because it says here greater than 20%. Okay. Now know this, whoever's not on here isn't ultimately going to be responsible for this thing. So bottom line is that you've got to clarify with your operating agreement or your bylaws potentially who you would want to go right here, okay? But when you're listing the other owners, right? So members, shareholders, if you're an owner, you should know you're an owner, okay? You're gonna list their name, what's their title, what ownership percentage do they have, and then their social security number or EIN. So that would be if that entity is owned by another entity, and then their address, okay? Then as we go down, okay, I've been talking forever in my videos, okay, that there's these then right here. Is the business or an owner suspended, debarred, proposed for debarment, declared ineligible, voluntarily excluded from participation in the transaction by any federal department or agency? No. Number two, and here's why I'm reading these, okay? Has the business, any of its owners, any of its business owned, controlled by any of them, ever obtained direct guaranteed loan from SBA or any other federal agency that is currently delinquent or has defaulted in the last 7 years and caused a loss to the government, okay? So if in the last 7 years you've got an SBA or any kind of federal agency backed loan and you're delinquent on it or you've defaulted on it in the last 7 years, okay? The reason I read both of those is that if you mark yes to the first two questions, it specifically states the loan will not be approved, okay? So anyways, the third one is the business or any owner business common management with any other business? So they want to know about your affiliates, yes or no, okay? What's an affiliate? Probably be another video, but you should know, right? I mean, it's businesses owning businesses. It's common ownership. Me and my other two partners own this other business in similar ownerships, percentages, okay? I don't think we need to overthink it. If yes, attach a listing of affiliates and describe the relationship as addendum A. And the reason they're asking for that is they want to make sure that if you have multiple entities that are applying, that they're not overlapping the information. That's the third question. Fourth question, has the business received an SBA economic injury disaster loan between July 31st, 2020 and April 3rd, 2020? This is why I have said over and over and over and over, and I've done video after video after video, and I've been actually really shocked that I got asked 6 times by clients today, you're recommending I should get the EIDL and the PPP, right? No. Here's the deal, okay? Has the business received the EIDL between these dates? Yes. Okay, then you need to attach the details on a separate sheet, and that will reduce down what you get for the PPP. And if you're thinking, well, who cares? I mean, I got my EIDL money, now I'm gonna get this. If I qualify for 75 grand here on page 1, but I got 10 grand from the EIDL, which is otherwise known as the COVID-19 disaster